All right, perfect. Well, today we are diving into AppFiles in depth. So thank you guys so much for sending in your questions. Let's get started. I know Daphne was wondering how to merge files, split them, reorganize, and change form order. So let's go ahead and add in some forms. We're going to go with, let's do an as is. Let's get a lead-based paint in there. And what's another good one?
FHA addendum.
FHA addendum. All right, so we can go ahead and add all these in. If you notice right away that oopsie daisies, I put in my lead-based paint addendum first, and I want my as is first always. Just go over here, drag it up. You can drag them down, change it all around. I don't want to print that. But this is where you can make changes right away if you need to.
The key thing is our office disclosure
Mhm.
and making people know that have your buyer sign it, but don't send it to the seller.
Yeah, yep, never add in your our brokerage disclosure. You need that to cover your butt. The seller does not need to see it. All right, so let's go in first. We're going to merge another form in. So let's just do buyer's agent checklist, pretend that this is your letter of pre-approval. So to merge a form, you're going to go to your original document that you want to merge it to, go over to actions, click on merge forms, and you're just going to press the plus button. If you're not sure that if it's the form you want, you click on the magnifying glass and it'll quick it up.
Hey, Leah,
Uh-huh.
you need to move a little bit slower. You know where all these things are extremely well. So you go bang, 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 bang. Take just a little bit more to show where each of these changes occur.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
People can find it when they're doing it with you.
All right, sorry. All right, so if you're going in to merge a form, open up your original document. You're going to go over to actions, drop down over here to merge forms. Click on that. If you're looking for your form and you're not sure that if it's the correct one, click on the magnifying glass. It'll pull up a quick look for you. Go ahead and close that out. Yes, this is the one that we want. We're just pretending that this is the letter of pre-approval. Go over here and click Merge Selected Forms. So that is going to pop it into the very bottom of your package. So if you want to go in and change that form order and say you want the FHA rider above the lead-based paint because it's addendum E, then you have addendum P, and then you have your buyer letter of pre-approval. Go over here and hit Save Changes. If you want to split some forms up, so let's say this is the wrong letter of pre-approval. You actually uploaded the Smiths instead of the Jones. Go over here, hit that button, check it off, and you can move it to general paperwork. You can move it to financial docs, need to keep, other docs, however you want to organize your system. Let's go ahead and split that out. And then you can go ahead and merge in the correct form if needed. All right, let's see. Split files, merge files, perfect. So I've had a few questions on how to convert forms once you're uploading them from an outside source. So if you're downloading them from the MLS into AppFiles, so let's go over here. This is Gable Oak Drive over in Northport. The agent was awesome and they did upload docs that they needed to. So let's go ahead and do a seller's property disclosure. This one is going to be very easy for you to edit since it was downloaded electronically. Sometimes we'll see them scanning them or taking pictures of their phone. That can make it a little bit more difficult on you. If you do have problems editing that and putting in blocks for signatures, just give me a call. So you download seller's property disclosure from the MLS. We're going to jump back over to AppFiles. Go to Upload Files. You can upload your documents or you can upload photos in here. If you upload photos, they will go into this box right over here. So if you need to keep record receipts of emails, text exchanges between you and a client or you and an attorney, put them in here.
A picture of the clients here.
A picture of the client so you remember who they are. That works too. So go over here to browse. Here's the seller's property disclosure. Click on Start Upload. Beautiful, files uploaded. It's going to drop down into uploaded paperwork. Go ahead and click on it. You'll notice it looks normal at first glance, but if you go to click Edit, it's going to come up with this little pop-up, Convert to Editable Format. So what we're going to do, you do not need to save a copy of the original unconverted document. It'll keep it as is for you. So just go ahead and click Start Conversion. Hey, Daphne. So this allows you to edit it. If you need to strike through anything, you can go over here to add strike through. You have the option for single line, or you have the option multi-line is just the X cross out. If you need to change the size of them, go over here, grab the corner of it, and you can go in and change the shape as you need it to. If you selected the wrong one, just make sure it's highlighted in this kind of manila folder color and go to delete the selected element. This is really if you're, see that mostly used on purchase offers, a lot of counter offers, you're going to have strike throughs and signatures next to them or initials. So make sure you keep that in your back pocket. Now that you have the chance to edit, with this form at least, all you need to do is add initials. When you have two buyers, so a husband and a wife, make sure that you use buyer's initials and buyer initials too. You cannot just put buyer initials in every initial form if you have two clients. This is set up so you can picture it as Joe's initials and then Becky's initials. You just got to make sure that they're separate so it can send them for separate initials. If you need the date, just go ahead and press this little checkbox.
Then you can send it to the same email. That's the interesting
You
thing.
can send it to the same email. You just have to make two separate signature requests. Yeah, so that you can make sure that they're signing separately. If there's more than two buyers, then what you can do, so you have buyer initials 2. If you go down here, honestly, you could do landlord initials and landlord initials 2. As long as they're under these different codes, you can send it out to as many people as you need. The title doesn't necessarily matter as long as it's a different entity for each individual that's signing.
Interesting. So when I went in and I would add a block, signature block.
Makes it a lot
Not as
hard.
smooth.
Yeah, if you go in and just add a signature block, like new initials, it's going to be a lot harder for you in the long run to keep track of
Takes
it.
a lot more time.
And it takes a lot more time.
Okay.
Yeah. So same thing with signatures. You have a million different options. As long as you remember that Joe and Molly were buyer and buyer 2 and whoever else was landlord and landlord 2, then you're golden. Just make sure you're keeping track of your people and what you've assigned them to. Let's see. Any other questions on this? Nope. All right.
That's good.
Perfect. If you guys do have any questions when you can't reach me, remember AppFiles is a mom and pop operation. If you call this number, they have, I think, 5 people waiting at the phones literally all day for you. They normally answer on the first or second ring. So you're not calling out to another country, you're calling to a little bit further south.
And they literally have emotional state in case you panic.
Yeah, so if you send them a message, I'm freaking out, how do I put an initial block in? Type in your phone number, operating system. I have a Mac, browser, using Chrome, emotional state, panicked. So then they know how to call you. So if you're panicked, they're gonna call you very soothing, tell you how to do it. If you're angry, they might just do it for you. If you're happy, then they're gonna call you and probably ask you how your day is going. Try to talk to you a little bit more. They are open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. I know that if you do send them one of those messages on the weekend, sometimes you will hear a response back. It just takes them a little longer because they have families, they have kids, they're living their lives too. All right, so let's go on. What exactly are we looking for on the buyers and sellers side? So right now I have this set for a pending buyer, single family home with an HOA. These checklists on the left, they're gonna walk you through everything that you need to stay under the law, pretty much. Cover your butt, keep yourself on top of what's happening in your transaction. Make sure that you are uploading these as you go. Do not wait and try to do a bulk upload. That's how you get in trouble. That's how you lose track of stuff. Let us help you. Let us make sure that everything that you're doing is above board.
Yeah, because if you don't split them and put them in there individually, it's hard to track it in the future.
Especially, yeah, if you don't split them
done that.
and upload them separately, you're gonna have buyers calling you, asking you for the survey. It's in a jumble of all the paperwork that you've uploaded through the life of this transaction, and you're sitting there for 20 minutes trying to find it for them. Yep, it's tricky. So with me, even when I get inspection, I'll upload it under this first checklist. Because you have the option to, so for instance, let's say that this is fully executed purchase contract. Once it's fully executed, I would go through here.
That's the part that I need help with a little bit.
Yeah, go in and split these forms. If your general paperwork section is totally clogged up with other documents, put it under other docs or need to keep if there's nothing under there so you can keep track of them. Go over there, hit split selected forms. Select them over here. Hit OK. So now this is just the as is. That's all that it is. So we can go in and hit submit. Execute a purchase contract. For you guys, when you submit it, it'll be blue and have a little sand timer basically over here. That just means that it's waiting for me to review it. If you do not change your file type from just a buyer or just a seller into pending or active, I will not see it on my end. So if you don't change it, I'm not going to be able to help you.
We'll see if they've got those executed addendums. And it's
Mhm.
good if those are packaged with that executed agreement. Otherwise, if they ask me to go in and look at it, I'm having to dig to find each part.
Yeah, I get that.
Now, are we able to change? We can't.
I keep my addendas all together, but if I have a survey in there somehow,
It's separate.
yeah. So let's say that this is your WDO inspection. To keep it out from all of the documents that I will upload in here, I just go down here and click submit to checklist. So it's gonna leave the rest of the checklist free and clear, but it's gonna put it under here for you. So it's easy to come out and grab. Yeah.
Cool.
It's gonna make your life a lot easier. But this is literally a step-by-step. So you want your executed purchase contract, you want to have your escrow deposit verification, pre-qual or proof of funds. For MLS listing, the easiest way I've found to upload that is to go over to the MLS. You're gonna go to print. And then what you wanna do is print to PDF. So then you don't have to go through the trouble of taking screenshots of your documents, uploading multiple pictures. You can just go in here, click download, Smarter Agent MLS. Hey,
Okay, I saw the car over there, like, and then I left my phone and I was gonna.
Go out there, we're doing it.
you're gonna,
You're on
so
the
you're gonna
recording line.
hit upload.
If anybody needs a good, yeah.
If anyone needs a
Try
good
to
guy
say
for
this,
insurance, Mark Shewitz with the Coda Group is awesome.
They'll come in and give you a hug.
All right, so you're gonna go to upload files, select that MLS, start upload. So this way it's going into your file types.
Can you do it again?
Do it again? Yeah.
But yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I put the part until the print part of it.
Yeah, go to print to PDF.
Uh-huh.
It opens up in this window, and then you can just click on download.
Okay.
And then I just rename it to whatever's easiest for me to remember what it was.
And you can do that with any document that you're saying to print or anything you're saying to print, just save the PDF.
And
Mhm.
how do you upload it back into app?
So to upload it back into AppFiles, all that you're gonna do is go to upload
Okay.
files, since now it's in your computer. You go over to browse. There's my Smarter Agent MLS. If you're not sure if you forgot to rename it and you're not sure if it's a document you need, you can double click or single click. If you have a trackpad, use 2 fingers on the right side. We'll pull this up, hit quick look,
Okay.
and you can just verify that you grabbed the right thing. You want to make sure that you upload this MLS listing in case the other agent gets it in their head that, actually we're paying out 2.5% now. Nope, when it was originally listed, you guys had 3, or hey, you didn't disclose this. This is what it said on your original listing. Just so that you make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. So you just go over here. Here's your Smarter Agent MLS. That's one that we just downloaded and uploaded. Submit and MLS listing. Then you're also going to need the form-standard disclosure. This is our brokerage disclosure. I renamed it because in AppFiles, it is under form-standard disclosure. Make sure that you have this for every seller, every buyer. This is what keeps you protected under our E&O insurance. And make sure that you're playing above board with all of your clients. And it also includes our brokerage fee of $295, so that it's no surprise to anyone when that shows up at closing.
Right, and if people don't do that, they are negligent and they will not be covered by our E&O.
Yep,
Okay.
if you do not
Make
have
that
this
important.
signed, you are not covered by E&O.
Scary place to be.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to be covered with theirs and everything's insurance.
And the point that you just do submit again, right?
exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Once you have everyone sign, I see a lot of agents doing this. You guys are doing great with having your clients sign, but you forget to sign it yourself. You still have to sign. So yeah, you just go in, hit submit, and standard disclosure. That's what keeps you safe. If I can
Keeps you under
close
the
out of
protection
this.
umbrella, so to speak.
Yep. Loyalty agreement, this is huge, especially with first-time home buyers. This is the I am hiring you officially form. It just makes it real in their head. Just do it. If you can't get them to hire you, you can't sell them a house. With this, you're gonna go ahead and submit as well, just like the rest of them. Bum, bum, bum. And then, of course, we also have our client profile and HOA addendum. I know the client profile can seem redundant at some points, but honestly, if you're working with a client, you're nurturing them over a year, year and a half, 2 years, you're going to need to look back on that and say, what the heck were they looking for? All right, HOA addendum. And then, of course, I personally prefer to put all of our inspection reports down here. So instead of submitting into one of these predetermined ones, I just go in, submit, and then submit to checklists. You'll notice once you get deep into a transaction that this will be loaded with a million documents.
That's where I put it right now. I like the idea. Okay. Smart.
For closing, so this means I've gone through everything on the first half of the transaction is done. You'll need your final closing statement here. You will get that from the title company. MLS status change form. So that means once this listing has gone from pending to sold, do the same thing. Go over to print, go to print PDF, download it and upload it into AppFiles. This is the little download button. Commission disbursement, DR Horton, any kind of new build, I haven't found luck with them doing
Very rare.
commission disbursements. It's been very rare. It's worth asking. Any resale, get Ken to draw you up a commission disbursement form, get that in there.
Ask me to do them anyway, because it just keeps our files in order.
Yeah,
It's easier.
ask Ken to do them anyway. Keep your
It's
files in
easier
order.
track.
Yeah. If you can walk away with a check at closing day, we'd prefer you did that too. Get your deed of record in there. That will also be from the closing agent. Title commitment, that will be from the closing agent, and your final walkthrough form. Make sure, please, please, please make sure that you do your final walkthrough with your buyers. We don't want them going to move in and saying, hey, where the heck is the washer and dryer?
And it's a lot like it's like having our seller, our disclosure, all disclosures, but
Mhm.
it protects you.
Yep. So this is the buyer's walkthrough inspection / reinspection form. What I find can be handy on any of these forms is this little button here that says import values. Can save you a lot of time in the long run. All that you want to do is go to the MLS, grab the MLS number. That's all you need. Hit Command C to copy it. Go back to AppFiles, go to import values. You're going to import from MLS. Now these other buttons, import from a form. If you have it already filled out in your purchase offer, your as is, if you have it filled out in your client profiles, any other form, it will show up when you click this that you can grab them from. Now all of these say no values because I have not put in any values. So we're not going to be able to do that right now. If you import from info fields, this would be when you are creating your file. Over here in your master template, you go to add a section. So for my master buyer template, since I have this set as a buyer, you can go in and enter in all the information you need. This is more work on the front end, save you a lot of time in the back end instead of having to type it in every other time. You can go through names, phone numbers, closing agents, property address, year built, effective date of your contract, date of inspection, closing date, sale price, all of this great stuff. It will be super useful to you. You just got to put in the work to use it.
And it doesn't take much time.
It doesn't take much time at all, no. So back to the MLS. Sorry, I wanted to make sure that that was covered. Import from the MLS. I'm going to Command V and paste. And Eustace Drive. Eustace Drive. All right, perfect. It pulled the correct property. Start import, done. That's all it uploaded because that's the only information that I needed from it. Purpose of this walkthrough is reinspection solely to satisfy the buyer. Access to the property should be provided.
Utilities work.
Huh?
And utilities work.
Yep, utilities were on. Make sure that if you're working with a new listing agent, one that hasn't been in the business for long, that utilities are not shut off until after closing. Save yourself and save them the time of pushing back closing so that the utilities can be turned back on. This is if anything is not as it should be. If anything goes wrong, type it in there. Bam. And then you guys have a conversation with the seller. If everything's all good, leave this blank, send it out for your buyer's signatures, and then you send it out to the seller for their record as well. Then you just go ahead and submit that in.
Yeah, or I send it to the closing agent.
Yeah.
They'll have to sign it.
That works too.
But on our end, we really just want the buyer's signature is the biggest part of the thing for us.
Mhm.
But it does make sellers feel comfortable that it's completed.
Yeah.
It's just doing their job.
Exactly.
Being the pros.
All right. Let's see. Anything else, Daphne?
No.
No, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. If you do have any other questions, remember AppFiles support is there for you. You also have help buttons. These are basically their frequently asked questions. You can also call or text me. I will help you anytime that I am available. If I'm not, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, we also have another training on AppFiles covering the bare bones, well, not bare bones, covering
Everything.
everything. It was our very first video onto our LMS Realty YouTube page. It is extremely helpful. If you're looking for something specific, we do have it timestamped out in the description field of that video, so you can go through, click on that timestamp. So if it's 41 minutes in, it'll say 41.02. If you click on that, it'll take you to the exact spot in the video where it's talking about how to create an app file, how to set yourself as the agent, how to do a lot of stuff. So
It's so in depth, that's where, like even doing this with you right now, for me,
mhm.
you just showed me another thing. It's like, man, I've been running this for how long now? And I didn't realize that simple thing that makes it so much easier.
It can get a little tricky.
Uh-huh.
Oh, remember too, create updates as you go. Talked with Ann Johnson today.
Called my buyer for the night.
Survey is happening at noon. Wow, I can't type, but it gets the point across. Keep a track record for yourself on what happened throughout this timeline, just in case anything does come up.
You can even upload your emails.
Yeah, you can upload your emails as photos
Mhm.
or as PDFs. Photos would probably be easier though.
Mhm.
If you guys do need anything from me, go to create a task, choose task type, admin needed, name it whatever. Um, please review my
One sec.
docs. Assign it to me. Priority. Label it accordingly. If you need it done right that minute, put it as high. It's going to show up as a red huge thing when I open up my app files. If it's medium or low, okay, perfect. It'll still show up, but not as huge. And then you can even set reminders for me too, if I'm just really behind the ball. Yeah, that's how you create a task as well. If you're done with a buyer, things didn't pan out, if you ended up firing them, actually, if you ended up firing them, you're gonna wanna keep your app file. If it's just a completely dead lead that you haven't heard from in years, delete an app file, send it to trash. If you do this on accident, you say, oh my God, wait, I need that lead. I didn't mean to put it in the trash. It's no problem at all. We can come back as admins and pull it right back out. Same for any docs that you might delete, any updates. We can basically bring back anything from the dead. So no worries. If you're playing around with the system and you mess up, just give us a call. All right, that's it.